I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm pretty sure I locked 200 hours into that game right now. But also, I have majority of the Koroks. I have majority of the quests done. Majority of the map is revealed. At least the overground map. The sky map, I still have to do a couple stuff. And the depth map, I have to like also do a couple stuff. But yeah, like I would say completion rate, I would say it's like 75% done with it. You know, like almost got all the collectibles finished. Almost all the side quests finished. Just need to like keep fleshing out the map a bit more, and then get the main story done. Get some fights done. But yeah, I'm getting close to the end of that game. Luckily, because I'm at the point where I'm like, man, I love this game, but in the same time, I want to play something different. I'm one of those people who like once I play a game, I just have to finish that specific game. You know what I mean? Like, and I have a certain. It's not 100% thing. Like, it's not like. You know what I mean? Like I don't 100% like full on 100% a game, but I do get all the collectibles, all the side quests, all the main quests, and stuff like that. I try to like get as much as possible from the game out. But if there's certain like achievements that have to be hunted down, I don't do that. If there's and certain like tasks maybe I won't do, but like who's better, me or Howard? What on your phones now? Yeah, people. People in the YouTube comments, who do you prefer? Don't. That's mean. Let's not put you guys. Let's not objectify Vin1 and Howard. They're both dear chatters of mine now, so I care for both, even if I don't show it. But yeah, the proofs equipment. It's only mean because Howard would lose. The proofs equipment. Okay, here we go. Howard 2024. Again. Thanks, Afro. Yeah, of course. I know how it's just a couple weeks longer than I know Win1, but by the end, both of y'all mean a lot to me when it comes to doing this, and keep on going strong. Save. Each SCP-1774 instance is to be kept in Class 2 Spectral Containment Unit in separate wings of Site-88. -1, -4, and -7 are to have their batteries recharged or replaced weekly to ensure that the entities contained within are not destroyed due to oversight. Testing is to be performed with the permission of Director York. SCP-1774 is the collective designation for several pieces of equipment formerly used by an amateur paranormal investigation agency. Current extant pieces include a handheld infrared video camera -1, a handheld thermographic video camera -2, an EMF detector -3, a ghost box -4, a divining pendulum -5, a digital voice recorder -6, and an infrared thermometer -7. So everything for a good ghost hunt. In reality, a scanning radar that has had its dopping function disabled. Gotcha. We got everything here. All that's missing is a couple cameras. Actually, not cameras. What is missing? We have the EMF detector. We have the ghost box. We have the voice code infrared. No, we got. You know what? We got everything we need. All you guys need me is now me, the black guy who gets possessed and then gets killed at the end. Either I get possessed or I get killed, one or the other. Each instance of SCP-1774 acts as a container for a unique spectral entity designated SCP-1774-X-A, an example -01-A-02-A. All instances are sapient and are only capable of being detected and interacted with using their respective SCP-1774 instance. Oh, I gotcha. So sometimes you have to like use voice recorder with one of them, and the other ones you have to use a thermographic video camera. Gotcha. For example, dash 1-A is only capable of appearing on film recorded by dash 1, and okay, I gotcha. And dash 6-A can communicate via talking with data recorded on dash 6. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm following. Data recorded by SCP-1774 instances can vary greatly from what is actually occurring. Pardon. For example, footage from dash 1 can show the manipulation of objects in the room, flickering of lights, and alteration in the behavior of recorded individuals when none are occurring. All dash X-A instances are seemingly capable of communication with each other. During testing, individual instances have been shown to work in concert with one another in an attempt to falsify paranormal evidence. So are these just YouTube pranksters, but ghost versions of themselves? Like they just like pretend to do something, but it's not actually happening. And they're like, whoa, weird. And then you have the evidence like on hand. You're like, what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to fool? Although it's not really YouTube pranksters, right? YouTube pranksters will go way more extreme if there were ghosts. They would throw you down the stairs and call it a prank. All instances of SCP-1774 were used by an amateur paranormal investigation society known as The Proof. The Proof is based out of Ohio State University and investigates various supernatural phenomena throughout the Midwestern United States, often resorting to creating hoaxes or falsifying evidence for their web show. The Truth and the Proof, no members of the organization have any knowledge of Foundation activity and as such are not considered a threat. That makes sense. So that's why the ghosts are faking it. Because the group also faked it. You can't blame any of the dash A's. It's all they know. During an investigation on a private property in Cleveland, Ohio, police arrested the entirety of the Proof on allegations of breaking and entering, trespassing, and fraud. The equipment was taken into police custody, where its anomalous properties were first noticed. A Foundation recovery team confiscated the equipment and brought it to Site 88 for study. Test log. Test 1. Dash 1 was turned on and used to film a portion of the hallway at Site 88 over the course of 12 hours. I'm just going to say dash A because we know which dash A it is. It's the dash 1-A. So I'm just going to say dash A from now on. Unless we have multiple dash A's in the room, then I will, of course, specify. Dash A manifested as a woman, approximately 45 years of age and wearing a Victorian-era dressing gown. Dash A paced back and forth through the section of hallway visible on the film, disappearing and reappearing in between frames. Dash A was shown walking through a research assistant on the film, causing them to momentarily convulse and vomit. This action did not occur outside of the recording. At one point, Dash A's face appeared directly in front of the lens, causing the observing researchers to become stalled and fall out of the seat. I swear to God, she was laughing afterwards, Dr. Bryant. Yeah, I told you, they're just pranksters. They're just a bunch of pranksters, those guys are. Test 5. You know, that camera can probably be replicated by modern AR tech now. Howard is just over here be like, this SCP is so outdated because nobody's using dictionaries anymore. You could just have modern AR, artificial reality. Who would do this nowadays? You are, my friend, what we would call in the business pretentious. You're really a glass half empty kind of guy, aren't you? Test 5. Items used. Dash 2 and Dash 7. Okay, now that we have two different objects here, I will have to specify which Dash A it is. Dash 2, Dash 7 were used in concert with one another and to determine if any communication could occur between the separate Dash A entities. Dash 2 recorded several thermal anomalies, including one humanoid cold spot standing in the middle of the testing room. -7 seemingly confirmed the existence of this cold spot, registering a drastic temperature change of 15 degrees Celsius. However, no temperature change was found by a normal infrared thermometer. At several points during the test, a digital display on the -7 was observed to die as opposed to the temperature reading. -2A, as depicted on the film, was observed to be laughing for the duration of the test. Those guys are. I haven't used a glass in years. Wait, they held a concert? SCP-174 live album topping one. If they were to release an album, they probably would make it sound the most horrendous like wobble and gobble as possible, with some, you know, satanic messages, just for the hell of it. Test 7-4. Dr. Bryan would attempt to communicate with -4A using -4 as a medium for communication. Dr. Bryan's attempts at conversation were met by silence for the first 5 minutes of testing. Following this, -4 let out a screech of feedback and yelled the words "Get out" several times in a low-pitched voice. Further attempts at communicating resulted in sounds of sobbing, laughter, and the statement, "I love this job." If to release an album, it would be Merzbow. Sadly, I do not understand what you're trying to say here. I'm sorry. I'm not cultured enough. My chin is itchy. You pronounce Merzbow like Waluigi. I'm sorry. I read like how you say March in German. März. -8. Test 8, I mean. -5-1-2. -5 was carried by Dr. Bryan around the testing chamber, allowed to swing freely. -1 and -2 recorded the room, which had several lightweight objects placed on the floor and tables around it. -5 spun more rapidly in certain areas of the room. In these areas, -1A and -2A were shown manifesting on the respective objects. However, -1A could not be detected by -2 and vice versa. Makes sense. Both -1A and -2A were observed to manipulate various objects around the room. At one point, -1A was shown throwing a small wooden block at Dr. Bryan's head, causing him to react by ducking below it and swearing. These actions did not occur outside of the recording. So they're like haunted house actors. I think they're haunted pranksters at the end, because like they're the equivalent of the person who would hide behind a door and wait for you to pass by just to jump out and yell boo. That's what they are, I would say. They just try to like mess with you as much as possible in a supernatural style. Oh, I'm that person. You better be careful. Sometimes that person gets punched in the face. Not that I would punch you in the face. I almost punched somebody in the face once they did that to me, but as a reflex, because not as like it happened and I was like oh, not like that. Like I would, the moment I see somebody jumping in front of me, I just reflexively almost punched them. It's like, oh, I was like, okay, sorry, man. My black ass doesn't like being surprised like that. Agent Raymond McGee interviewed Tyler Watkins, equipment manager for the proof and presumed creator of SCP-174. Agent McGee was posing as a member of the Cleveland Police Department during the interview. Watkins. Glitch out again? Howard, don't you have like a PC that you can watch this on instead of your phone? I still can't believe McGee is a real name. Yeah, it is. What do you want to know about the investigations we did? I've seen the tapes. They are clearly faked. What do you mean? Those are real ghosts on the equipment. Look, we've talked to other paranormal guys. The thing on all your tapes, they all say that they have a Shem ghost. How is the ghost of a Victorian housewife supposed to cross state lines? Leans into Watkins. Unless it was faked. I don't know what to tell you. None of the evidence was faked. Those ghosts were real. Don't give me that bullshit. There's no such thing as ghosts. And given the fact that your group has connected at least 5 people out of money for investigative services, they're real. You wouldn't believe me if I told you that what really happened, but they're real. You're right. I wouldn't believe you. But I'll humor you. Not as bad as Splunky, to be fair. PC is currently in an unavailable state. Oh, I see. Okay, I gotcha. I'll humor you. A lot of the stuff we did was fake, you're right about that. But Dan wanted more convincing ways to fake the stuff we saw. A frisbee painted like a UFO or a gorilla costume posed as Bigfoot can only take you so far. He wanted to make it as real as possible, while still being fake. But Daniel Christian, leader of the proof. Yeah, stabbed. It might be. Wow, you do that? That's a perfectly good computer. The rest of the stuff we did was faked. This was real. Leans back in his chair. I should know. I put them on there. Which is it? Was it real or faked? Give me a straight answer. Or, the cameras and stuff didn't technically see anything. The ghosts were in the cameras, the thermometer, the EMF detector, the freaking divining pendulum. Shakes his head. I found this thing online where you could bind spirits to anything you wanted. Make $100 or something. I tried it on the pendulum first, in the graveyard near Akron, and it worked. After that, I tried a new item at each location we filmed at. Ups his forehead and stays silent for several seconds. Let me get this straight. You tried to fake your paranormal findings, and in the process, proof that the paranormal existed. That sounds like a plot of a bad horror movie. I know exactly what it sounds like, but it's true. I could show you, but you guys impounded all of the equipment after we tried to investigate Bourbon House. That's the only part of your story I believe so far. Any other outrageous claims you want to make? And they were really useful, actually. I swear to God, they were having fun with it. That ghost box we had did a real good evil laugh. And as for Havisham, well, apparently she's a fan of The Exorcist. She loves doing that thing with the head spinning all the way around. Let's say this is the actual truth. Wouldn't it have been easier to just do what every other paranormal investigator does and fake the evidence in post-production? Wouldn't have been as fun. The process used by Mr. Watkins to create SCP-1774 was removed from the internet following this interview, due to the recent not guilty verdict being delivered in the proofs of trespassing case. Further monitoring is to occur on the group. So this group decided, like, oh, we gotta make it real. Well, as he said, they try to fake it more and accidentally made it real. That's basically what happened. And honestly, I'm glad I gave him like a little bit like of the typical like, it's like, yeah man voice, because it sounds like those guys are stoned as hell, just high as shit. Be like, hey man, how do we make it like even more, like how do we bullshit people more? You mean to tell me they tried to fake paranormal evidence and end up with a ghost named Havisham? That, and also, yeah, phone dude FNAF 3 ass voice. Oh yeah, I haven't heard that voice in a while, so I could probably duplicate that. But it's just funny, the idea like that, like they were like thinking to themselves like, oh, we gotta fake it harder, but then instead of faking it, they actually made it real. But nobody's gonna believe them. And I love how like the simple solution would have been like just edit in post-production like everybody else. And it's like, yeah, but that's not fun, dude. Dude, that's not fun. Why would I do that?